Welcome back, guys, for another episode of Raid 101. Last time in our Buffs and Debuffs series, we covered advanced debuffs. So it should come as no surprise that today we're talking about advanced buffs, which are basically all defensive in nature. Let's get to it. Nothing is quite as inspiring as heroes putting themselves in harm's way to protect others. Champions who cast ally protection do just that. Damage directed at the target champion will be shared between them and the caster. The caster will take 25 or 50%, but keep in mind that poison and similar effects, as well as self-inflicted damage, do not trigger this buff. Important to remember, each champion uses their respective defensive stat to mitigate damage, so if you have a champion using 50% ally protection on a squishy ally, they can end up taking less damage than the champion they're protecting, even if the damage was distributed evenly to start with. In addition, damage that comes through a protect ally counts as damage. It doesn't count as a hit. So if protecting champions have abilities like counterattack that trigger when they get hit, ally protection won't set those abilities off. Speaking of damage, this bad boy just blocks it all, as the name suggests. Got an orc running at you with an axe as tall as you are? Some wicked sorceress shooting you with lightning? Poison running through your veins? None of that matters. As long as you have block damage, the world can burn and you'll be just fine. Well, maybe not always. There are a number of skills out there that ignore block damage buffs, so be careful. Save for those skills, though, you don't take any damage. Full stop. Shields don't take damage, bombs don't deal damage, poison and HP burn don't deal damage. Seriously, nothing hurts you. We've seen quite a few nasty debuffs in the previous episodes. Good news, there are champions, masteries, and even an artifact set that can bestow a block debuffs effect. While it's active, the champion can't get any new debuffs. They slide right off. Old debuffs stick around, but you can't get any new ones. It might not stop every nasty thing that enemy champions can do to you. We'll talk about non-debuff effects later in the series, as well as guaranteed debuffs which can't be blocked. But it definitely puts a stop to most of it. Next one's really simple. Continuous Heal restores either 7.5 or 15% of the target champion's max HP at the beginning of their turn. Not rocket science, but really useful. You can stack this as well, so you can have more than one. It's like poison that way, really like an anti-poison. But if you are poisoned, the poison hits first, so you can die before Continuous Heal saves you. Next up, Reflect Damage. This sweet little buff makes it so anyone attacking a champion under its effects will take 15 or 30% of the damage they inflict. This ignores defense altogether, and, depending on the strength of the hit, can be quite nasty to the attacker. Though it does scale off of the damage that's actually dealt, so reflect damage on a champion with high defense won't be as strong as reflect damage on a champion with low defense and high HP. And remember, the defender will still take 100% of the damage. Reflect damage runs off of damage, not hits, so if you've got ally protection and reflect damage, you'll reflect some damage you get through ally protection back at the attacker. Next up, Revive on Death. If a champion dies while his buff is still active, they will be instantly revived with 30% of their HP and 0% turn meter. This is useful to keep key champions alive for longer, especially when you have a healer at the ready. Sort of similar to Revive on Death is Unkillable. While under this buff, champions can't fall below 1 HP. They take damage as normal, but effectively cannot die, and they still use all their skills as normal, so this buff can throw a nasty wrench in the enemy's works. Any damage that would take the champion below 1 HP is ignored, so Lifesteal and Leech are also rendered pretty useless by this buff. Handy. Just watch out for enemy skills that bypass Unkillable. They don't need to do much damage to ruin your day. Shield. Often a must-have in the arena and some tougher PvE fights. It basically reinforces the champion with an extra layer of HP. In-game, you will see that as metal gray squares added to the green ones of your champion's health bar. Under normal circumstances, all damage is first applied to the shield and only then to the champion's HP. Defense reduces damage dealt to shields the same as it does for their HP, so high defense champions will get more out of a shield than others. So, some details: the shield's health doesn't count as HP. That means if a champion, say, heals based on the damage they deal to an enemy champion, thanks to the Lifesteal artifact set or the Leech debuff, damage dealt to the shield doesn't count. That knife cuts both ways, though, since effects that trigger based on allies taking damage don't count shield damage either. However, that damage is still damage, so if you have a skill or ability that scales on damage dealt period, it will still count damage dealt to shields. Finally, we have a fairly straightforward buff, a mirror of Weaken if you will. Champions who have Strengthen will reduce incoming damage by 15% or 25% from all sources, including those that bypass defense. It's simple, it's neat, it's always useful. Okay, that's it for all our advanced buffs. But the astute among you might have noticed that there are a few buffs and debuffs that we still haven't covered. So check back in here for part 5.